in time. All right. What's up? We are Locket, the band, and we're attempting something new here. We're trying out this podcast idea, and this is the first episode. It's kind of my idea, so I'm forcing the rest of the guys into it, and I think it will evolve into something cool,
or something stupid.
But I figured it would be best to just start. So that's what we're doing today. Right now today is the last show of our tour that we had with, or that we're on with Belmont, Bearings, and Romancer. We're in London, Ontario at JJ's house. And so after this podcast, we're going to go play the last show of that tour. JJ, how's it feel to be touring again?
Well, I've been playing shows for the last 2 years despite our brief hiatus. So is Brad. So the real question is, Travis and Corey, how does it feel to be playing shows again?
Travis.
Nice. Good. Feels real nice.
Travis, what was the last show you played? Not including the Safe to Say
I think
June
that was
2017 show.
That was legit the last show I played. But the last show I actually did was with probably Nicole.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Alex G
Yes.
thing.
On the
The
Alex
Alex
tour.
G run little thing. I played bass for that. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
So,
But yeah, that was like
Smooth
3
transition
years,
then.
2 years ago. Yeah, exactly. So
That's when he learned how to play bass, and then we picked him back
Instantly
up.
demoted.
Yeah.
Rejoined and demoted.
feels good.
For me, the last show I played, I think, was the show we played in Ottawa, like the last Safe to Say show ever, June 10th of 2017. But as you guys all know, I'm still involved in the community, on the recording side. But it was definitely I was definitely nervous going into the first show, and many times in the shower leading up to
The shower?
in the shower leading up to the show, I would play through the entire set, note for note in my head. Just I don't know, I take long showers. Especially when we had the set list worked out, so I could actually imagine what it was like. And it was definitely nerve-wracking to be playing the first show back in Ottawa, because I'm from Ottawa, I live there. So I had a lot of friends that I made in the 2-year gap that we didn't play shows coming out. And I don't know what their expectations were, but I just like all of us, we want to put on the best show possible, and you want to play it's mid-tour, you're seasoned, but it's your first show back, and as much as you rehearse, you can't. It's just not the real show. You don't run into the same problems. It's not the same atmosphere. So I was a little nervous going into that, and I mean we pulled it off, but
By day two.
yeah,
By day
one.
two, we killed it. Day
I was a
one,
wreck on day one. I
You
think.
can
I was
write that one off.
I was drenched in
that
sweat.
did actually happen.
We were perfectly fine jamming 4 hours prior, and then
Yeah.
all my
Yeah.
stuff just blows out
Yeah,
while we're
yeah,
setting
well,
up.
then it's real.
And then I panic.
That is part of being in this band, though.
Yeah.
Something going wrong.
Something's
Yeah.
got to happen.
Yeah.
I was just lucky.
I know I was just starting to last night was the most comfortable out of all the shows that we've done, and it's always a bummer when it's just a week and run, a week, 2 weeks, and it's you're just
Getting groove.
settled in. I'm just getting by day 2, day 3, I was having trouble sleeping on those floors, and now I'm I love it, and I'm sleeping like
You're
a
adjusted.
baby. But here I am back at my home in my own bed again.
Making us potatoes at 9 a.m. or
Yeah,
whatever the hell
I
it
made
is.
them all a large fry up breakfast.
I am
Yeah, it's
full.
a staple in this house.
We said how many potatoes, and JJ said 12.
12 potatoes.
Oh my God.
And we ate them all.
Yeah.
I had three helpings. Another thing that we do that, talking about shows, that I think adds a lot of stress, but is kind of what makes our group what it is that we try and put on a show. We want to make it as exciting and entertaining and as fun as we can for us and the audience. So on this string of tours, we introduced, I guess a level 1 light show, an
Definitely
entry level.
one.
It's level 1, but honestly, it looks fucking sick.
So if you haven't attended any of the shows or you haven't seen anything online, basically we have I guess 4 lights and 2 on either side, or I guess 2 on both sides. Yeah. And then Travis is basically playing 3 of them.
Yeah.
While playing bass. And then on top of that, we brought a fog machine, which was kind of a joke at first, but is definitely like the coolest thing because it just like exaggerates the lights.
There's the light in the kick drum too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I play an acrylic. I play Ludwig Vistalay acrylic blue kit, and at the last minute, I stuck this little LED light in there and discovered that it looks awesome when there's no other lights on and it's just that.
Also, I think it's either yesterday or the day before. Someone in Bearings, I think it was Ryan, was saying like, "Oh, so you just have like the lights set up to a computer, right?" Started laughing. Imagining us with a computer on stage.
Yeah. Corey is the computer.
And I'm like, no, man, they're like these janky little Canadian Tire like plugs with little switches, like foot switches.
Yeah.
Kind of like an IKEA floor lamp.
I have to find the sweet spot.
And and Trav just rocks it.
Yeah, it's like all performed live, which again adds that extra level of entertainment and stress.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, coming back, JJ, well, yeah, we kind of wanted to make the set like sonically as close to the record as possible without having it be backtracked. So we were trying to brainstorm ways of making it so that we could perform, all the little quirky sounds that are on the recordings live. So JJ hit me up with a list like maybe a month and a half prior to this run with every single song and a bunch of specific sound effects or sounds that he wanted from the record. So I combed through all the sessions, sent him the files, maybe like 2 weeks after he asked for them. And then I think we had 2 jams.
Yeah.
With a working sample pad
so
and everything.
You can talk about your whole rig there.
I also play in another band called Heavy Hearts, and I'm Joey Demers. Is that how you say his last name? Yeah. Sorry, Joey. Him and I are the new guys in that band, and I'm the drummer, and Joey is all things auxiliary. And he bought a Roland SPDSX pad, and he loaded up. He did the same thing I did. He got the sounds from Corey. Corey also recorded the last LP, or the upcoming LP for Heavy Hearts. He got all the sounds from Corey, loaded up an SPD pad, and Joey's on stage next to me, launching these samples, doing backup vocals, playing auxiliary percussion. He is the most talented musician I know, and it was so inspiring watching that guy every night. And I took a bit from him. I took a bit of inspiration from him, challenged myself, and I got some sample pads, and I'm like running some external, like a foot sample pad. So if you're a drummer, you'll know your feet control. Your right foot is kick drum and your left foot is hi-hat. But next to my hi-hat, I have a like a kick sample pad and a kill switch to kill all the sounds, because as we said, this isn't some backing track or click track. I'm launching all these sounds live on the fly. So I need to we'll sometimes launch like an ambient sound or a drone or something like that, something from the song, and then that has to cut out at a cue or a drum cue. So I got the hi-hat, that pad, and the kill switch. It's all the left foot has to take care of that. And oh man, it took a long time to get that down. And I won't lie, not every night is perfect. I'm missing some cues, but I'm getting better at it, and it's actually really fun. I feel a little bit like a circus monkey, but honestly, I just wanted to push myself, after playing with Joey. And honestly, Joey, I owe all that to you, 100%. So, yeah.
Cool. So just to simplify that, for anyone out there that's not a drummer or hasn't played a show, basically JJ has his traditional drum set, and he's got the sample pad on the side, and the purpose of that is just to trigger sound effects. But not only does he have it there, he also has an extra foot pedal and an extra pad over here that triggers from it. And then on top of all that, JJ's now taking the lead on harmonies and backup vocals.
Oh yes, that too.
So to play into the idea of you being the circus animal or something,
like a Dr. Seuss machine.
Your hands are hands and feet are going at all times, and then you're also singing.
And it could all just be run out of a computer or something like that, and we wouldn't have any of these issues. But I don't know, where's the fun in that,
Yeah.
Also, when we were first jamming too, it looked so funny because JJ would be doing the mixes for our monitors to his to his right.
Yeah.
And then he would have his sample pad to the left, and then this drum kit with all these extra pads, and it would look like he
Insert
was just,
photos of the space station
you know,
here.
like in the Matrix, or like what's that movie? That stupid the robot monster movie where they like control the big thing.
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim.
Rim.
It literally looks like
sick movie,
JJ's
you
like
mean.
he's like mounting his battle station and just like
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's fun. It's challenging.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing
everything.
too is like I feel like it took the other drummers a little bit to catch on to what you were doing because it just sounded like so smooth. You know what I mean? Like it sounded as if you're just hitting like the sample and just letting the computer take care of it. And I think once everyone started like actually seeing what you were doing, it's kind of like, oh,
I mean, this isn't some groundbreaking
No.
thing that I'm doing. I know there's other drummers, but like specifically like in like our contemporaries, our scene, our fellow bands, haven't really seen many people doing something like that. Joey's the only guy I know who's even remotely in that world. So just trying to push myself, I guess.
Cool. So just to kind of wrap up, coming back, playing shows, how we're kind of, I guess, approaching them and playing them differently. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so to move on is basically what I was trying to get at. So we've put out 3 songs now, and they're songs that we recorded in February of 2018, and then multiple months after that, and kind of tweaked even last minute. But that's when they, I guess, started. So now we have 3 songs out. I know it's been a long time coming as a band and also like individually. So Brad, how does it feel to finally have like some of our music out there that people can hear?
sick because the songs are so good.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, they're really
I don't
good.
even care. like I think like even in February when we were like tracking everything, it was kind of just like all smiles, thinking, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
So
I remember, how do I say this? I remember when we were listening to, let's say, maybe track 10, and the roller coaster that was, the excitement in the room. When
Oh,
we kind of like
yeah.
had that moment like, oh, we're doing it.
yeah,
Yeah. That was
as well as like think anything prior or just like I don't know, even when was the last time we released music? Like 3-4 years ago almost.
2016.
I just got a Facebook notification today, I think.
3 years ago, right?
It's 3 years ago in July, but I got some notification for something about Down in the Dark today on Facebook.
Yeah,
I
July
think a single.
22nd.
I think we dropped a single this day 3 years ago, like for that record.
Yeah, so even 3 years ago, and I think too, like being that like the smallest band on Warped Tour, you're wanting to impress everyone. So you're thinking like, oh my god, I hope like is this good enough, or is anyone gonna like this, or is this crowd gonna like it? And then having sat on these new songs for so long, it's just kind of like you're an idiot if you don't like they're like you can like whatever
Very
you want,
humble.
but you're wrong if
Yeah.
you don't, because they're like I'm like not, it's like not even on my mind. I haven't been checking like YouTube numbers or like clicks or plays or like comments or anything like that, because it's like I know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, needless to say, we're all pretty proud of what we've created, and I think they're really genuine and great songs that kind of represent us and on every front: performances, the songwriting, the production, everything. It's like it's a collection of all of us, which I
Also, sorry,
think
I'm gonna
yeah.
cut in. I mean, this is probably more of a you thing, but shout out to Fearless first of all, because that is super cool for them to take on a band like us. But something that makes our relationship with them so, I guess, unexpected on our end is to have a song like Other People, and when Corey's mixing it, we like didn't know how we should approach it. So once we got the go ahead for Corey to do that, we thought, okay, well maybe we should try to adjust the mix so it kind of fits what we assumed they'd want, something a little more polished, a little more commercial, because like that's a great thing, why not? And when we sent them to the people over there, the first thing we got back was like, yo, what did he do to the mixes? Like they sound so cool. So yeah, even like now listening to them, guitars are at like 11 and
yeah. To talk about that specific situation, basically the first, when those conversations started happening, we sent over it was called Mix 3. That's what all the files were called, Mix 3. And we basically, like, my full-time job is recording bands, and we didn't really know how this record was going to come out. We just knew that we wanted to make it. So we made it, and we got it to, like, I would say 95% done. And then we kind of sat on it, and there was a bunch of stuff that was happening behind the scenes, but we really didn't know what was happening. And then eventually, once the green light happened and things started moving, I was like, okay, I'll give these a final listen to. And to me, there was evidently like, oh, the vocal could probably come up here just a tad, or like very minimal changes. And I combed through all the songs, and I think the only one I didn't touch was Out of Sight. And I just made like minor changes. And then, yeah, the A&R guy from Fearless gave me a call, and he was like, it was so funny how he was walking around the question, but he was basically like, so why did you change it? 'Cause, like, I like the old one. And then he was like, very politely trying to be like, yeah, so you should like definitely send me the old one. And I was like, okay. And it's funny because listening, like personally listening to it, yeah, there's definitely some things that are maybe a little, I guess not the norm in that mix, like the guitars being, so specifically talking about other people, the guitars being like super loud. I know there's a vocal at the end of the song that I think could probably come up like a couple dB. But
They like
who cares?
it.
Yeah. And
They
they like the energy of just like that mix, and I'm totally cool with having it be that way.
Yeah.
So talking about releasing music, we've put out the 3 songs over the course of the last month and a little bit. The reactions that we've seen has been cool. I was going to talk about how it's been working with Fearless, but Brad kind of touched on that a bit. So Travis, just to get you in the conversation here. How's it been working with working with Fearless, and like how do you feel about the whole situation?
Feels good. No, I was like, honestly, I was pretty just like skeptical of a label in general because this is my first experience with anything like that, not being a part of Safe to Say for a bit, and then it was like really reaffirming. I think having them like be so encompassing in how they kind of go about taking care of every different issue we could come across or every problem we might face, and like anticipating that and just being like, hey, we're going to do this for you if you need it, and we're here for this. And yeah, it was awesome. Like I felt a lot better after we had like spoken to Andy and stuff, or we got the call from Andy at least. And yeah, that was really nice to have a lot of my worries like kind of washed away.
Yeah.
Sure. Especially after like we started releasing stuff, it was even more so because they continuously are like supporting us actively,
Checking in.
Yeah.
Well, it's Brad and I were having a conversation, and I think we were talking to Esh from Seaway. It's just like they're there to help because it seems like they genuinely like want to help, not just in like a business relationship way, but it seems like they're actually fans of the music. And when we first were having our first conversations with them, like they were quoting lyrics, telling us what their favorite songs were, asking what certain things were about and stuff. So you could tell it was more than just like, oh, we can make money off this. And again, that's like the skepticism of all of us, just being like, oh, like are they actually on our team, or like what's going on? Yeah, it's been a dream, and I mean, it's better than we could have expected, and I couldn't ask for like a better team. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to touch on.
Yeah, no, that hits the nail on the head.
Okay, so let's talk about the craziest thing that happened the last couple days. Okay, so again, this is like the last day of tour today. We played in Toronto, I believe, 2 nights ago, and we woke up to an Instagram story or a tweet of someone flying here from Scotland. So, Brad, I'm gonna let you touch on that.
I guess it was a Twitter post or something that we got tagged on Instagram. So
Yes.
To backtrack a little bit, the night prior, a fan named Christina came to the merch table to just chat and buy like one of everything, and she kind of looked over and said, "Hey, I'm buying this for my friend Vivian. Do you remember her? She saw you guys at Warped Tour, and when you went to Scotland, she gave you like a flag and stuff like that." I'm like, you know, of course, like you don't forget things like that.
Gluten-free candy.
Gluten-free candy, like yeah. So I go, of course, remember Vivian, and Vivian has like. Vivian cares, like one of those people that like music definitely means more to her than like I'm sure it ever has to me, and that's like super cool. So just her being fans with other bands, like I've seen her travel like far and wide for bands like Seaway or, like Pacific, whoever. So her friend was at the show before Toronto saying, yeah, I'm getting this merch for her. I'm going to be meeting up with her at some point this summer, and I'll get it to her then. And then next thing we knew we heard that Vivian was buying flights from Glasgow that night to come see us in Toronto the next day. So sure enough, our set is about to start, and like she's there front and center, and we're all just thinking probably like, damn, that's so cool.
Crazy.
Like, crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely insane, but like in the coolest way you could ever use that word. So we play our set. Things were like rushed and they don't always go as planned, so we had to cut one song. And we were all pretty pissed off about it.
I had to go for a walk.
I had to go for a walk. My girlfriend had to like de-escalate my my anger a little bit.
It's all the adrenaline on stage.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you're like playing a set and you're expecting to play another song and then you have to stop. You still have like all the energy about to go into the next song.
Yeah,
and it's
like,
your last song.
It's
It's
the
the
closing
10
song.
out of 10 song. It's the one song where you.
It's
like,
the one that people want to hear.
You're saving all your energy for that song, and
Yeah.
then you just go so hard that you think you're gonna throw up at the end.
So aside
that
from
one.
aside from being pissed off about that, what added to it was knowing that like Trav had his whole family come out, so they didn't get to see like the end of our set. You know, like this person flew from Glasgow to see us. They didn't get to see the full thing, and I felt my girlfriend came to see us for the first time.
It's also a hometown.
And it's a hometown show too, right?
Yeah.
So like I felt more upset about how I feel like we kind of just like, I don't know, swindled everyone that was there to see us. So the next show that we played, which was last night in Hamilton, it was up in the air if this girl Vivian was going to try to make it work so she could get a ride to the show to see us play that last song.
And she had flights booked.
And she had flights booked. Like she had to go home. So we rolled up to the venue, and sure enough, she's there with her friends. And I guess she said, I'm gonna stay here till like 9. My plane leaves at 10:50. What
International
time? Yeah. What time do you go on at? And I said, well, we go on at 9. So then again, I'm like, oh my god, I feel so terrible. So, she goes, well, maybe I'll wait. And we're all saying like, like don't miss your flight for us. Like it's not worth it whatsoever. And we even said to her, if you are gonna stay, we can open with the song that you missed last night, if that's what you would like. And to my surprise, she said, no, do what you did last night. Like the new songs are great. So we did that and found out later via the internet that she made her flight home somehow, because I think we played until like 9:35, something like that. So she must have just like gotten an Uber and flown.
She didn't only just make the flight home; she managed to document it. She made like
I was gonna say I saw that video.
a time lapse of her like rushing through the airport. Yeah, insane to think that.
Yeah,
Someone-
and I think I said this to
Impressive.
my girlfriend's parents, who are like super super supportive of everything that the four of us do, which is really cool. And I was saying to them when I was explaining how great the Toronto crowd was, it's so cool to now just like play shows and not see your friends there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to just like there's fans. I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah,
So
people you don't know and you don't expect to know the words and stuff, singing those words back.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. So that is I think especially coming back after so long, and to some people it's a new thing and to some people it's not, but to come back and play a set that's like primarily new songs that people have either never heard before or they're just hearing for the first time within the last week or so. And to have people actively singing along to those new songs that are like a week old
It's
awesome.
special.
is like I don't even think that ever happened that much when we were safe to say, So that's
Yeah, safe to say, like the extent I remember is like Stouffville shows,
local
where like we all knew each other's words because we played
they were
with
your
each
friends,
other
right?
like every month.
yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah. So it's all been like really reassuring, I guess.
Okay, well that's like a perfect segue. Safe to say. So why did so JJ, why did you individually decide to change the name? Wait, wasn't it? Wait, it was JJ? Was it Travis? I think Travis. You said you were only gonna join the band if
we change the name.
name?
Yeah.
No, no, I did not say that. To clarify,
Is there anything to even like touch on that, or do we just kind of let that slide?
You see,
This could be like a Blink-182 thing. Like, what is the 180? Like,
Yeah.
what does
We're
the
not-
182 mean?
we might have to edit this out. I don't think we're supposed to talk about it, but we got a letter in the mail. We got blackmailed. Someone wanted the name safe to say, and we had to
Yeah, it's
release it.
Government optics, dude.
We can't talk anymore.
We can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to cut this out later.
All right. So on that note, that is the that's the first Locket podcast. We're gonna come up with a name for it.
No. Well, maybe.
We're at 26
But help
minutes
help
right
us because
Are there any other stories from the tour that we want to touch on? Any other funny moments from the last 2 weeks?
there's like probably a million, I guess.
That are not coming to my head.
We hit a bird with our
Oh,
car by accident.
Did we
Corey-
talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
he's still here with us. Okay.
Corey hit a bird on the highway
Intentionally.
unintentionally. Well, I mean, how do you avoid it?
I was
Like, it
going
fine.
110 down the highway, and there was two birds flying by. One was fast, one wasn't. I didn't know if I hit the bird, but it looked like it was close. JJ was in the passenger seat, and
I'm pretty sure I heard Corey say, "Yo, watch this," but I don't know. I'm pretty sure he said it,
Yeah.
but no one else will confirm it.
So, anyways, we didn't know.
I didn't know if I hit the bird.
Yeah.
Then JJ goes, we totally hit that. And he looks like super upset. And then
JJ's
and I
vegan.
didn't know how to react. And then we just like
We parked the car at the venue
in
Oshawa after that drive, and sure enough, we look at the front of the car, and this thing is like, it's in the grill, but it's so deep in there that we don't know how to get it out, and
it's still in there.
some form
still
of
in there.
extraction today.
yeah, so we got to figure that out.
So basically, we brought a bird on tour. Is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah,
we brought a bird from Quebec to London.
can we call it our co-pilot?
This got messed up.
Poor bird.
Yes.
Yeah,
Poor bird.
What else? Romancer brought
speaking of,
Super Monkey Ball to the venue last night.
I found out I'm really bad at that.
Yeah, I'm
Bad at what?
Super Monkey Ball.
I must have not been in there for that.
It's by the
also,
merch.
yeah, this is not like funny story.
The GameCube game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's what you guys were playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. This also isn't like a funny story thing, but just while we're talking about the other bands, we were talking about this right before we set all these mics up. We were having our 12 potatoes for breakfast, but JJ was saying like getting to watch Bearings every night. Their new drummer Mike is just like, it's one of those things like he was saying with Joey, right? He's like you watch him play and it's like I want to take something. I want to be like that. I want to be better. And I watch Adam from Romancer sing every day, and I'm like, fuck, he's so good. Like I want to be better. So like it's been cool to play with both of those bands, not just because they're like great people and they're great musicians, but
Inspiring.
it's like it's legitimately inspiring to.
Yes.
It's also been
take.
really nice just to like, I mean, not to exclude Belmont, but just because it's Ontario, it's been nice to be like a part of like the Ontario community again. I mean, maybe personally because you guys play in other bands from around here,
Yeah.
I
but
agree.
it feels nice to be like
Back in it.
I think every tour has that like I guess breakthrough moment where everyone gets to know each other more than just like, oh, I play in a band, and then you have like real conversations and like genuine conversations. And I feel like last night was like the breakthrough for everyone. I feel like we all like I don't know, became closer as a group, which was really nice.
On the
And-
second last day.
yeah, I mean that's usually the case too.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just like once
Well,
you know it's ending, then you're like,
If you're
oh,
only
okay.
playing like 10 shows, like,
Yeah, that's the problem.
if it was like a month-long tour, it would take that long, to like get to actually
comfortable.
know people,
I think I convinced Adam to start a YouTube channel. So
to restart.
to restart a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I was talking to shout out Loden, Adam Clark, and Corbin from Rarity. They've been out at all the shows. Loden's been taking photos for Romancer. He's an awesome photographer and
I
videographer.
think Cole there last night too.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Loden last night. He almost convinced me to start a YouTube channel. I think I talked his ear off about nerdy video stuff, and yeah, he's like,
Start a movement.
If you spend 5 minutes talking to Corey, anyway,
Maybe I
he'll
will.
try to convince you to start a YouTube channel.
So let's talk about my dad.
yes.
So my dad has 50,000 subscribers, and I think that's inspirational. and I see the checks coming in.
It's true. It's not
And
why.
it's pretty dope.
Yeah, his
Shout
dad.
out Captain Drone.
Yeah, you should. Captain Drone. His dad refused to share our music video on YouTube to his tens of thousands of subscribers because it was not on brand.
Yeah.
So
He's smart.
It wasn't refused just because I know he's going to
Well,
watch this to the end.
not refused.
It was just the timing didn't work because he, I mean, he's a busy man. So I did tweet out, my dad didn't share my band's new music video because it wasn't on brand. Respect. And then my mom like follows me on Twitter and Instagram. So anytime I tweet anything or post anything, I have to like assume that my mom knows or my mom is going to read it. But yeah, like within 2 hours of tweeting that, my dad shared it on his YouTube. So my mom definitely read it, didn't understand, probably got mad at my dad, and then my dad shared it. And I don't think we ever talked about it. So
you talk on the internet, like the post.
yeah, he comments on my videos, I comment on his, and that's how we communicate.
The future's crazy.
Cool. All right, let's wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Yep.
First episode. So again, we're figuring this out. We're gonna obviously up the production and kind of probably I have ideas for like segments and stuff to make this cool. But the goal of this is to just kind of share more. We get to do a lot of cool things, and it would be really nice to share it with the people that listen to the music and that follow the band. So we want it to be interactive as well. If you guys have any questions or anything that you want to see us talk about, you know how to find us. There'll be links in the details of the video and wherever you're listening to this on podcast streaming services. But yeah, interactive. So if you have anything you want us to talk about, let us know. We're going to keep doing what we do. We have some exciting things coming up, and that's that. We're going to play our last show of this tour with Belmont, Bearings, and Romancer, and then we're all going to go home and continue working on a bunch of crazy cool things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you to everyone who's making our comeback worthwhile, really welcoming, and just supportive in general. All of our friends, family, and new fans. To the new people who are giving us a shot, thank you.
And to the bird.
Thank you to the.
R.I.P.
This one's for the bird. At the end.
This one's for the bird. That's what we should call it.
Amen.